Okay, we are live and we are here for the third T20I between England women versus West Indies women. And you all know that the series is already done and dusted. England have won it, and now the aim is for the clean sweep. And it is highly expected that the home side will do that because the way West Indies have been performing is very, very disappointing. I think Tushadi in the last match, we were expecting a better fight from the first match, and it became even more worse. And again, Haley Matthews failed. The whole batting crumbled, and ultimately they managed to score. Despite batting whole 20 overs, they managed to score only 81 runs in a pitch where Nat Sherburn came and smashed that 50 like ease. So Tushadi expecting a little bit fight from West Indies, or it's happening again the same pattern?
Look, I can't expect anything from them. I can hope. There's no
Oh,
expectation here. One thing good was last day, I was feeling very, very unwell. I
mm,
have been unwell for the past 1 week, but West Indies helped, and I'll tell you how. Not because I felt better seeing them lose or anything. No, don't get me wrong. It's just that I was hoping that the match gets over early because obviously I was taking medicines and I wanted to rest. And I did hope that the whole match gets over by 15 odd overs or something of that sort, 20 and 15. I was hoping 35 overs should be fine, but they helped. They just completely helped. Also, Snehashish, how you started the show saying, so we are here for the live and all that. My question is, you and I have been coming for the 3 T20Is live.
yes.
When will West
West
Indies
Indies,
start coming?
West Indies yet to arrive in England.
Only Helly Matthews has arrived. Rest of
Yes,
them are mentally still in their backyard.
yes,
And the
absolutely.
problem, I'm repeating again, the problem is it's the same problem that we were seeing in Ashes, that you don't see a fight. The problem is not that one of the team, there have been series where there have been whitewashes, and yet you could have said that, oh, you know what, there was contest, and one of the teams won, the better team on the day one, and that could be that England wins all three matches, but West Indies have to come out at least score runs. The way West Indies has been batting and the way West Indies has been fielding, they have a long, long way to go.
Absolutely. By the way, West Indies have won the toss and elected to bowl first in today's game, and they have made four changes. Again, Grimond comes back. Zahazara Claxton, and I think another debutant today. Zanilia Glasgow and Asmini Munisa. These are the four names that have been included, and the players that are not being part of the playing 11 are Stephanie Taylor. So one match done. Stephanie Taylor is done. Campbell is done. Uh, Fraser is not there, and Karishma is also not there. So these four changes that West Indies have made. I will come to Trishati about the logic behind this. And for England, only one change has been made. Easy home, has been left out. Sarah Glenn has come in place of her. I think that is a very good change. I think Tushadi, because you need to give game time to Sarah Glenn. She is also coming back after an injury layoff, and obviously considering the ODI World Cup in few months' time in India, I think in these conditions, Sarah Glenn will be one of the top players to watch out for from England.
Absolutely, and I think it was expected. Last game also, we were chatting about
Hmm.
um, Sarah Glenn not being there.
Hmm.
And I did think that workload management is a huge part of Sarah Glenn not playing. But having said that, a very good change, because Wong is also injury prone. So your two matches are done. The series is sealed. You can then give a bit of a rest to Wong and get in Sarah Glenn. So what it does is gives Wong the needed rest and Sarah Glenn the needed game time. And of course, England has that complete leisure, because this game, I wouldn't say it doesn't matter. Of course, you want to have a statement win, because you have had quite a bad loss in the Ashes, and England would want to revive themselves with clean sweeps in every single series that they play. But yeah, I mean the kind of substitution also, if you think of it, it's not like Sarah Glenn is a tad bit lower or something of that sort. So you are just making changes, keeping your bench, giving your bench enough match practice, which is important. Of course, in a few months there is a World Cup that you have to play, and Sophie Eccleston, we still don't know that how injured or how fit
Mhm.
is Sophie Eccleston. So in that case, Sarah Glenn becomes that much more important, because I really don't think Charlie Dean, of course, in
Mhm.
Indian conditions, I do think Charlie Dean, even Alice Capsey, rolling
Mhm.
her arm over would be very, very significant. But if you want a frontline spinner taking wickets, then that of course you need Sarah Glenn there. As far as West Indies is concerned, um, I would be happy if the Taylor and Stephanie Taylor and the Campbell move is a permanent one, to
Mhm.
ensure that the when South Africa plays in West Indies, I would still want to see them out of the team. I would want to see the youngsters getting more chances. West Indies is anyway losing, so it does not matter. But
Yes.
let the transition happen. Let the young guns get game time. I am quite surprised by Karishma
Mhm.
Rama.
Ramadhan. Uh,
Hmm. Because I think she was bowling well. She was bowling in
yes.
rhythm, and she is one of West Indies' better bowlers currently, especially
But
when you talk about spinners.
yes.
So, but then again, when everything is going wrong for you, Snehashish, then it's very difficult. See, things are not going wrong for India, only it becomes tough to tell why is India selecting whom and what for. And things are going so wrong for West Indies, so you will have to give it to them that they will do a lot of trying and testing there.
Yes, I think they're looking for answers in different direction. In whatever the direction will come good for them, I think they will stick to that only. But that is the thing for now. But I think Tushadi, we have to talk about again Amy Arlott. I think she has been superb in this series.
Oh,
One of the
yes.
end, I think, in this series for England. Last match with the new ball, she started the innings, bowled brilliantly, and then 3 wickets. And I was going through that interview. Wisdom did an interview. I was going to even in my piece. I also mentioned those quotes from there. I think the way she made a comeback, I think it's superb. The story, what I found out, it's pretty incredible. What I found that in 2021, she got the first time she got a chance for England in a test match against India, but somehow she didn't play. And then she got another chance for a test match against South Africa, but due to COVID, she didn't play. And then suddenly she got out of the picture. She didn't get a further chance in England. Then she herself called to Western Australia and told them that I want to go there, have a practice with you guys. So if there is an opportunity, let me know. So Western Australia thankfully gave her that opportunity. She went there, did all practice, played games also for them also, and now doing so well in the domestic tournament in England, and now getting this chance and doing so well. So how incredible that! Do you really think, Trishadi, that England have found someone very reliable as a pace bowling all round going forward?
All rounder, I can't say directly because I haven't seen
Yes.
her bat as such.
Yes.
You have to see how she bats. But yeah, definitely, I think England has got a very, very good backup pacer in her, because
Mhm.
when I say backup, I don't mean that she's not going to feature in the playing 11. I do think she can be a very, very good support for Lauren Bell. Both have that height, both get the bounce. She's a consistent line and length bowler, which goes
Yes.
sorry, which goes in her favor more. Um, it could be very interesting if Bell and Emily can bowl from both the ends. Um, that kind of gives England that economical start as a bowling
Mhm.
unit. And once you start economically, there are high chances of getting wickets. It's completely related. We have always spoken about that part. What I like is her run up. It is so smooth,
Mhm.
which allows her, and it's such a simple action. It's not complicated at all. It's you straight running in and bowling. I really, really like, and I think Charlotte Edwards has brought her in. See, this is what happens when you have a coach who is well traveled, and in fact,
Mm.
I would like someone like a Nushin Al Kadir to take up coaching in WBBL teams, in CPL teams, in the 100 teams, because then that eye for talent, which anyway Nushin Al Kadir has, but you get better at it with more exposure. Coaching is also about exposure. And with Charlotte Edwards, of course, as a cricketer, she was a legend, but not every legendary cricketer is going to ever make a good coach. In fact, it's the opposite, because if you are great at something, you would be like, I hit cover drive so easily. Why is it so tough for you? Just exactly that. It should be that way. I mean, much like you will very rarely see outstanding students making a good professor,
Yes.
because things come so easily to them because of their talent, because of their the
Yes.
way they study, or because of the way they know their game.
Mm.
It isn't the same for everybody, but because Charlotte Edwards is a well traveled, and she has coached so many teams, I think she has found out those talents. And what I took from that story is, and I think everybody, any young cricketer should actually hear it, the fact that she didn't lose heart, and she called Western Australia and said, you know what, I want to practice, because it's very easy to say, I was dropped, I did
Mm.
not do anything, why
Yes.
was I dropped? And that's the easiest thing to say, but to try and make a comeback, because that is the only thing that's in your hand. We keep repeating this is something you and I have been discussing about Arundhati as well, and see what has happened. Arundhati
Yes.
has made a
Yes.
comeback, because all Arundhati could have done after the Australia tour is play domestics, and she did it. She did it immediately after the tour. Yes, you can sit and sympathize with yourself. You can sit and empathize with yourself. I'm not saying players have to be superhuman, but I'm saying you cannot make not getting selected as an excuse. Another example, Sneha. She went back to the domestic drawing board. She performed. She has made a comeback, and what a comeback! She was the
Yes.
highest wicket taker, player of the tournament. Everything went right for her. So I think that is where that is what I took from the Emily Alert story when I was reading the Wisden interview, and I read your piece as well. I think it was very
Mm.
nicely rounded up and written. It 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 should be an example to any young player, watching our show or reading the piece, because ultimately, as a player, when you are not being selected for whatever reason, the only thing you can do is put in your best foot forward, keep putting it there,
Mm.
keep knocking at the door. Recent example, Karun Nair.
Yes.
He kept performing, he kept pushing the selectors, and there you are. He is back in the team. You see, you can argue as much as you want that he should have been there 2 years ago, 1 year ago, but the point is he's at least back. It's the same thing.
Yes.
And one thing is, Snehashish, to make that comeback. The other thing
Yes.
is to follow that up with performance.
Mm.
She has in both the matches. She was very good. Yes, of course. I think again her biggest test, much like for India, one of their biggest tests will be the England bowlers. For England also, it's vice versa. So for Emily Arlott, I think the biggest test would be Pratika Raval, Smriti Mandana, and the likes. But overall, very good. Sorry.
Fine, but this is a very new role for Emilia Aldot. Generally, she is not a new ball bowler, but in this series, she has been given that opportunity and she has been doing well. So that's a new, that's a new thing that she has added to her armor. And
But
another point that I loved in that interview, that when Charlotte Edwards called her,
hmm,
initially she didn't pick up the call. She thought that mistakenly the call has come, but but Charlotte Edwards kept calling, and then she took up, and then she got to know that she has been selected for the series. I found it so funny.
yeah, I mean, I don't know. It was actually fun because I was like, okay, even if you were not selected, you pick up the call. You want to know what
Yeah.
Charlotte Edwards is calling you for. It could have been. You know what, Emily, we are keeping an eye on you, or something of that sort.
Yeah.
It's not for selection, but I hope that Emily becomes more and more confident because this kind of is not being confident that oh, why am I going to be selected? But yeah, but sports persons can be a little that way.
Hmm. Yes. Okay, and Tushad, I clearly remember that before the start of this series, the one of the point that you made in our live shows that one thing that England will definitely improve under Charlotte Edwards will be the fielding aspect. And in these two matches, I think we have seen two or three superb catches. I think so. Do you really seeing that change in these two matches, and hope and more changes are coming? What you are expecting to see?
Yes, I think I tweeted that right
Yes,
after
last match.
Sophie Dunkley took that
Hmm.
blinder of a catch. Look, first of all, we have to understand something that the Lauren Bell catch in the first T20I and the
Yes.
Sophie Dunkley catch in the second T20I are both catches that either stick or miss. When they stick,
Yes.
it looks beautiful. When
Half
you
chances.
miss it,
Half
yeah,
chances.
absolutely. But the point here is, that's the difference between when you're playing with a clear mind and you're
Hmm.
and when you're not playing with a clear mind. Guys, if I'm getting stuck in between, it's not because of my internet or anything. It's just that here in the Roland Garros first round, it's Naomi Osaka versus Paolo Badosa going on. So I have that on here as well. So in between rallies, I'm like, but anyway, getting back to the point, I think what is important is, or what it shows is, Nehashish, that mentally the England
Hmm.
women's team is towards that peaceful space, a space where they're thinking clearly. For example,
Hmm.
that throw for the debutant Grimond, I think, you know,
Grimond. Yes, Grimond.
the throw could have been at the bowling end, but it
Yes,
was at
yes,
the batter's end because they knew Haley
yes.
Matthews is the more experienced one. So let's throw it at the batter's end. Small
Hmm.
things, absolutely small things. Maybe Grimond wouldn't have been out. But still, these
Yes.
are small moments which you capture. These are small things which can change a lot. And the whole body language, Nehashish, is exactly what I expected. It looks like, if you now see the England team, you will feel that the Ashes squad and this squad are completely different. But now you
Hmm.
go through the names and you will see it's not like there are 10 changes, 15 changes, very few changes. But that is what becomes important. That, there's a saying, and as a kid, many coaches always reminded me that 70% of cricket is played here, 30% is the execution of what happens here. This part is what was going completely wrong in Ashes. That led to that 30% issues as well. Now this part, I wouldn't say 70% it's working, but at least 35, 40, 45% is already clear with the sheer
Hmm.
change in the coaching unit. And I'm saying coaching unit, and why am I not saying captain is because, do I not blame Heather Knight for the loss? I wouldn't directly say I blame her or not blame her, because I don't think Heather Knight as a captain was bad. Did she deserve to be changed after Ashes? Something has to be done after a 16-0 loss. So I understand that you have changed Heather Knight, somebody who has led for a decade or something of that sort, and you had a very capable option in Nat Silverbrand. So all this worked in your favor. As far as Charlotte Edwards is concerned, I think the best thing that has happened to England women's team is her taking up that role. If I'm not wrong, she was kind of offered that role before as well, where she did not want to take it. But yeah, I think that's the best thing that could have happened. And you are seeing just the beginning of the changes that will happen in the attitude, in the fielding, in the mindset. This team, Snehashish, is going to go in as one of the top teams in this World Cup. Make no mistake.
Yes. Yes, expectations are very much high, but it is not a good start for England in this match. Back to back golden ducks for Danny White Hodge, and again it's a bold against Jaida James. If I am not wrong, in the last match also she got against Jaida James only.
Yeah,
same
yeah, yeah.
bold each mission. So back to back golden ducks. Nat Shiva Brand already out in the middle. So again, hopefully the captain. Let's see how the captain does in this game because yesterday she was fantastic in that last match. I think,
Yesterday we did not
yeah,
watch any
in that
match.
last match, yes, yeah, in the last match she was fantastic. So that's a good start for West Indies, but still, Trishadi, how many runs you are expecting England to score?
180, 190 minimum.
180, 190, and England winning, right?
Otherwise, Heavy Matthews has to score a 150. Poor woman, and don't do this
Sorry,
to her.
so very sorry to have a smile, but it is true. Very
Yeah,
harsh
I mean,
fact.
it's not. We are not to be blamed if West Indies plays that way.
Yeah. In 146, your captain needs to score 100. Then only you can
100,
score 146. When your captain fails, you bat whole 20 overs, you manage to score only 81. So that
81.
is the sort of state, and hopefully a little bit fight we can see in this game. But most likely England will win this series 3-0. Let's see what happens. We'll definitely back for the ODI series. Three ODI series are going to be more crucial, I think, considering the World Cup. And hopefully in the ODI series, we are expecting a better fight. Let's see what happens. Thank you, Trishani. Thank you, everyone.
Thank
Let's
you.
meet in the next slide. Thank you.